Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have good news. Yeah guys, so some really good news. So I ended up removing the inner CV axle from the intermittent shaft. It was a really horrible process to do, and I'm sure most of you guys have probably encountered this before, but man, this thing was really stuck in there. As you guys can see, I tried everything. I tried using the pliers with the 2.5 pound slide hammer on it. I tried to grab every which way when it was still installed in the car, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, the easiest way to get it out is honestly if you take the intermittent shaft out and you start working outside. So like I said, yeah, I got it out, but I wish aesthetically I would have been a little bit more careful with the aluminum, with the pry bar and the BFH, and not have done all this damage on it. But mechanically it still works fine. There's no noise from the bearing. Hopefully I didn't cause any damage on it. So the next thing I have to do is I have to clean out the inside of the drive shaft so this never happens again, because I do not want the new ZZP CV axles to get some of that orange Loctite on it, and I don't want to deal with that ever again. So what I'm going to use to clean the inside is I have some degreaser that I love using, and I also am going to use some of this brake clean, spray the inside, and to ensure that it never sticks again, I ordered through Amazon some of this Permatex copper anti-seize. So this is a high heat. It goes as low as negative 30 Fahrenheit, and it goes up to 1800 degrees. So it's safe to say, I don't think, fingers crossed, it'll ever stick again. Okay, before I install the intermediate shaft back into the car, I'm going to clean some of it out on the outside and clean the inside of the drive shaft. That way I can get some of that rust out, and I'm able to put in some of that copper anti-seize. I'm going to do a little time lapse on it. Alright, here is the end result from that little time lapse. Sorry it was so short, but it was kind of awkward to be cleaning and looking through the lens at the same time. By no means is this like perfectly clean, but it's good enough for government work. Just had to make sure we got all that crap off of it. And I went ahead and I put some of that copper anti-seize, as you guys can see, on the inside, which you guys can't really see a little bit. I coated the inside quite a bit, and I used one of these little brushes with the little cap. I didn't want to cross-contaminate the bottle of copper anti-seize, so I put some on a little bottle cap right there. Alright, let's get started installing this thing in the car. Okay, before I get started and I bolt the intermediate shaft back on, I'm going to just put a drop of the blue Loctite on the threads of the bolts, that way they won't vibrate off. And about 15 minutes later, we got it all in. At first it wasn't cooperating, but I just kind of have to turn the shaft a little bit, pull it back out, put it back in, just play with it just a little bit, and it just snapped right back in. I use my electric wrench to tighten it down, and then I use my 3/8 torque wrench at 37 pounds to tighten down the 3 bolts for the intermediate shaft. Alright guys, here we go for the best part. Let's see if I can try to install the CV axle. Alright, let's do one last comparison with the new ZZP ones and the old ones. So you can tell the ZZP ones are a lot beefier, like I said before. So these should handle a little bit more stress. Not that I'm going to be stressing the car out too much, but good to know. It gives me a little peace of mind that they'll be a lot stronger. I am going to put a little of that copper stuff right here, right before put into the car. Alright, it's in. I ended up lining up, you saw in the video on the time lapse, pushed right on it, and then just with a little bit of force, I heard a positive click, went underneath and I took a look, and everything looks right. So now all I gotta do is just put everything back in reverse order, put the caliper back on, ended up cleaning the old brake pads, and ended up cleaning up the disc, but obviously I had a little water spray on it, but it doesn't matter, the brake pads will knock it off. We're halfway there, we still got to do the driver's side. Alright, let's go over the Chilton book for torque specs. So it says right here, for caliper bracket bolts front and rear, it's going to be 85 foot-pounds, and for, let's see where it's at, Cobalt G5 strut to steering knuckle, it's going to be 89 foot-pounds. So we'll torque it down. Now I have noticed that both books, the Chilton and the Haynes manual, I have both of them, there's the other one, they both are lacking in giving the torque specs. I could not find the torque specs for the intermediate shaft on here. I had to Google it, and I found somebody's how-to on how to do it, and I found a torque spec right there. So it is 37 foot-pounds for the intermediate shaft, and you guys just saw right now what the torque specs for the brake caliper and the strut. Alright guys, got my half-inch torque wrench set at 89 foot-pounds, and I have a 18 deep socket on it, so we're going to tighten down this strut and knuckle bolts. There's the top, and there's the bottom. Alright, onto the brake calipers. Alright, I got everything buttoned back up on there, tightened up that CV axle nut. It was at 155 pounds, I believe. I torqued that sucker down with the torque wrench, the half-inch, and I put the wheel back on. Now I got to get started on the driver's side. Here is everything that was left over from the old CV axle that I was able to pull out of in there between all the stuff. I'm feeling pretty confident that I'll be able to do the driver's side. Here's the driver's side axle. I'm feeling pretty confident that I'll be able to do it, and I have most of the tools that I need now for it. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for this video right here. I normally don't ever ask you guys, but if you guys could, if you guys made it this far in the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you guys are not following me, please follow me. I hate asking. There's some people that just like to spam their YouTube channel, you know, like or subscribe and all that, but I mean, if you're here, you get a good laugh out of my stuff, or if you guys learn something even better. Alright guys, if I have any issues with the driver's side, I most likely will put it on here and I will show you guys. Alright guys, see you guys later. Peace.